Hello, I have a new mouse today, the HTR. So I've been excited to try this thing for a few days now. Finally arrived, and these are my true first impressions. I've never used this to play an FPS game yet. I've picked it up and, you know, turned it on, connected the software, things like that. Still got the stock skates, but I have cicada wings on here. So I even cleared the early game of Gunfire Reborn using a different mouse, so I have my true first impressions when I have a pretty sustainable amount of ammo. Anyway, so the weird things about the shape of this mouse, you can see the bottom here. It's kind of like this strange, almost like egg-like shape, right? Where the back right part, where you would put your pinky, or at least where I put my pinky, is further in from where my ring finger is. And that's not really an experience that I've had before with a mouse. So it'll be interesting. And then also the part where your thumb rests has a bit of an inwards curve too. So that'll also be interesting. The more that I've thought about it, the more I feel like maybe the inwards angled nature of the HTR Pro might contribute to that feeling of being like a pen, right? But we'll see. This is like the opposite shape. Some people have some strong opinions against this. I saw Fantasy post a little thread today about how much he hates this mouse. Maybe the HTR Pro is better, but yeah, we're gonna give it a go, see how it feels. I'm excited. So first of all, the weight, it really is light. I mean, there's like nothing on the bottom here. That's kind of crazy, but it still feels even more. No, it's equivalently structurally sound thanks to this like crossbar down here. Fantasy also complained about the sensor being kind of far forward. So let's see. This is where I would probably naturally grip it. It is a bit in front of my thumb compared to... No, to me it's about the same as the HTR Pro. Maybe it's grip difference. So yeah, let me hide my gunfire window and I'll give it a go. All right. Oh wait, I don't have my gem. Oh, I forgot I have magazine Gemini right now. Just so I have infinite ammo for a bit. Let me try to slow down because I'm kind of whiffing my flicks right now. So far in the hand, it does feel more stable than the HTR Pro. Because it is kind of that middle ground between a claw and a fingertip shape. Let's see, is this good? That is good. I'm gonna go reforge this real quick. Sorry for the gunfire stuff while I'm trying to test this mouse, but I want to make sure I'm doing enough damage to give this like a fair shake, you know? Reward my headshot damage a little more. So far, I should get my HTR Plus out as well. Compare the width difference. I'm gonna need to go back and forward a little bit to see how this grip width actually treats me. But so far, I definitely don't like hate it. I feel like I can apply a little bit less pressure on my mouse than normal, and it still feels quite stable. Sorry for the... No, you shouldn't hear the Discord noise, so never mind. I take back my sorry. How active can my fingers be? Is it the same or is it more or less? Maybe a little bit less. Just due to the way that it's curved. I need to slow down a little bit. My flicks are still not quite hitting yet. The range of motion, like even if it is less, it's not by like a ton. I would still say it's up there with like the high-end fingertip mice. I need to develop some comfort with this first, and then I'll start pushing speed. The lateral movements feel really good, actually. I would say that they feel a little bit better than the HTR, just from killing 3 things in Gunfire Reborn, you know, the ultimate test. So far, I am noticing a pretty significant stability buff, though. It definitely feels like I can have a looser grip on this mouse and not have... and still maintain, like, enough precision for what I'm trying to do. Just by the nature of the shape. Oh, also the clicks, let me see. Yeah, it's definitely lighter. And you can hear it, I think. Oh, that sounds crunchy. It is definitely lighter. I should probably use them. I'm using them to jump right now, but I'm not using them to shoot. That alone might be enough to get me to use that for like a month. Or this mouse, I should say. One thing I was struggling with on the HSK on a cloth pad was post-flick stability. I felt like when I was watching my gameplay back, I would have a lot of additional shakiness. Not all the time, but the deceleration that I would have seemed kind of inconsistent. Why am I getting slowed so much? I feel so slow. Yeah, so far my first impressions are pretty solid. I don't know if they fill the same niche for me. I want to go back and forth a little bit. And I also want to test the 8K performance to see how much it hurts my frame rate and how stable it is in game. Only other 8K mouse I've used is OP1. And that one was pretty good. I didn't really have too many issues aside from frame rate though. Especially, I tested it mainly in, well, RoboQuest is the first time I noticed the frame rate debuff, and then since then I didn't really go back. Okay, let's try pushing speed a little bit. I wish I had better DPS so I can switch faster. The stability benefit feels like it allows me to engage my arm a little bit more, but everything will kind of come into context after I try the HSK again in a moment here. But so far, I really don't mind how this mouse is shaped in terms of my pinky. A lot of mice cause my pinky to hurt after just this pretty small amount of usage, in all honesty. This kind of shape was explored by one of the 3D printed mice I had on Etsy as well, the White Mouse by Roger. It had a section for the pinky that curved inwards, and I found that mouse really interesting. And I think my first impression of it was that it was one of the first mice that felt like it gave me an aim buff right away. But, oh, I'm pretty sure that guy just teleported on me, but I don't know, I have to watch back the footage. That's a known bug where, or at least it's a bug that I know of, where if you have too many enemies that exist, they'll just start teleporting to you for fun. But, well, maybe he just was there. I didn't see him. It's also possible. Oh, I'm having a little bit of fatigue from this mouse right now. I think it's just new, so I wouldn't put too much thought into that. I feel like once I get used to the shape and apply the small amount of pressure needed to maintain stability with this thing. How can I not get ammo extractor, by the way? Like, what is going on here? Whatever, my DPS is still okay. I just have to hit a lot of headshots, which is fine. You see that guy teleport on me? How fair is that? I feel slower than usual too. Maybe my KPM is kind of bad because of my damage. Oh, I almost died. There's a guy behind me. Alright, let's go back to the HSK a little bit. Hopefully I don't die. It's the other downside of the magazine build. If you saw the last video I did, I probably should take Magic Magazine. That's okay though. I just underflicked really hard there. Maybe that was a one-off thing, or maybe it just feels different, or maybe Fantasy's onto something here, and the sensor position is a little bit further forward. I also don't really know how the HTR and the HTR Pro differ in terms of shape. So I don't know if all of those criticisms that he had are necessarily applicable to what I'm using here. So yeah, I don't know. It's not quite fair to say that I like one better than the other because I'm very used to this particular mouse. It does feel like my fingers are slightly more involved. What is that? The game just breaks when my damage is bad, apparently. I'm definitely not sold one way or the other yet. One of the best scrolls, regardless. Yeah, I don't know. This does feel good. It feels different, though, in a way that I would guess is like the amount of emphasis placed on the fingers, you know? It's somewhere between this and the HSK. Oh, sorry, I got stuck. It scared me. Somewhere between this and the HSK, or HSK Plus and HSK Pro. Somewhere between those two. Which I think is interesting. So far the stock skates have been like fine too. That was bad. Alright, let's try push speed a little bit. No more excuses now that I have more spores. Oh, there's no one there. That's nice. It's definitely not a bad mouse. I don't know. It still suits my style very well, even if I do prefer the HSK. This is definitely number 2, I feel like. Even if I don't end up like maining this forever, skateboarder might be the last thing I need. I need to get out of here. But I also need to try it in PvP FPS as well. It's an important test. Not everything that feels good in this game will feel good in other games too. Especially like, I tend to push flick speed by accident when I'm put under pressure in like things like Battlefield 5, and that's when the stability benefit would really show up if it is significant. And I feel like it is. I'm noticing some extra strain on my ring finger that it usually isn't there. Oh, that was bad. And I'm guessing that's because I'm just applying more pressure than I need to. Or, I don't know, it doesn't feel as bad as the M2K where I'm like fighting the shape to like get further into the mouse. Probably because like the way that it's shaped in the back kind of alleviates that pressure to an extent. So far, like, I don't feel limited by this mouse. Even though like it's a fairly new shape to me as well. I would think it would take a little bit more time to get used to. I'm not really noticing the weight difference. Yeah, this ring finger strain is becoming a little bit more real now. I still think it's mostly like a growing pains issue though, you know? Like once I get used to it, it won't be as bad. Ow, that was bad. It feels a little bit easier to blend muscle groups with this thing, though. I don't know. That's not something I can really say with confidence with only this much experience with it, though. So I'll take that with a grain of salt. For these kinds of gameplay thingies, I probably should keep the game audio just because it's something that might have to be focused on a little bit for this kind of content. That was weird. I got like aim punched. I would love empathy with this sword. This is okay. So now I can use my main ability to generate additional weapon damage a little bit better. Because it doesn't... it's not doing damage on its own with the thing I just took earlier. I kind of want to check that dual fang, but honestly, like, I don't think any modifiers are going to save me, except for maybe projectiles would be kind of nice. I'm getting in there. Let's go. Damn pillar. Ruining my TS. Whoa! I thought you were a corpse. Just walked right into that shit too. That's probably my number one cause of death. Aside from slows, like the most direct cause is that attack. Where he like will telegraph it, but then he will like save the position you were in when he telegraphs it. So it's not like... I mean, if I... Ooh, okay, we're good, we're good. If I just keep moving, it'd be okay. But I tend to strafe a lot when I expect him to be firing it, and I'll strafe right back into it. We're safe? We're not safe. I don't know. I'd have to like watch back the footage, but it does feel like my post flicks are a little bit less shaky. Okay, we're doing that, huh? Oh, that's a peddler. That was a nice fingertip-based micro. Okay, okay. Oh, close, close, close. That'd have been cool. Yeah, I don't know. That's the main thing, is that it feels like when I push speed, I'm not losing the stability as much. Oh my god. My first impressions are pretty good, though. I feel like this has potential. Oh, I want to check AK before I leave here. And I'll play with it a little bit. Also, it has a web-based or software, which is pretty cool. I hope that becomes a standard these days. I know that like Utility, I'm pretty sure, is web-based. This is nice. And some other things too. Maybe Poly 65. But not too many mice. So let's see. While I'm moving it, we go down to 159, 155, 141. Things are spawning too. But if I stop moving my mouse, we go back to 260. Move it again. 145. How much? That seems pretty bad. Let's try 4K. 208. Sorry for the visual nightmare. Yeah, that's definitely usable. Try 2K now. 215. 223. Yeah, this one is like barely a performance hit at all. I'm gonna try 8K for a little bit though, just to see how it feels. It does feel a little bit more responsive, but I don't know if the performance hit is worth it. There's a button that says DIY. What does that mean? Click debounce set? What does that mean? Let me try the HSK just a little bit more. Wow, the stability is so interesting. Oh man, I don't know. This thing does feel like my ring finger can be a little bit more active while I'm playing. It's because like the way that it angles inwards at the front. I think the HTR definitely gives a more traditional mousing experience, even though it is stranger looking. This is really interesting. The moment I picked it up, it felt like it wanted to leave my hands, but as soon as I started aiming with it, it does feel like the ring finger is just way more active in the aiming process here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like a per game thing? This definitely doesn't feel bad, and it definitely makes my grip feel a little bit more locked in, I suppose. But the role the ring finger plays is just a little bit different. Hard to put into words, and I'm still not really sure which one is better. I think the best way to describe it is definitely like this feels like I'm using a pen, and then the other one feels more like I'm using a normal mouse. That's probably the main delineation. What am I doing? Okay. Alright. I also have... Oh, I wanted to use other skates. I forgot to put them on. But honestly, like, these aren't bad. I don't think they're holding me back at all. It's just a minor smoothness debuff in terms of how it feels on the pad, but they're not, like, horrific. Not good enough, I guess. But anyway, I also have a little unboxing thing I did earlier, so you can see all the other stuff that they give you. It's pretty silly. You know, if you like goodies, I guess. You know, you got something in there for you, but it doesn't really sway me one way or the other. But yeah, thanks for watching. This is way harder than I thought in one hand. What is this? What is holographic? Jim, why? No. What is going on here? Is there sleeve? I didn't hate their sleeve last time actually. For oh, the pin! Yo! The fucking Witcher coin. That's epic, dude. What? Is this packing foam? Oh, it's the clay. That's big. That's big. All right. Now we have the box itself. Nope, this is efficient, I think. Boom. So usually these are the extra skates and stuff. Oh, it's got a carrying case. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. I can't lie. Grips. And then this looks like a Game Boy Advance case. Let's get it open with one hand. All right. Is it in here? Oh, there it is. There it is. It's so small, actually. Interesting. What a strange little guy. Comes with some dot skates. I don't think so. Comparison to the HSK? Pretty similar, actually. Interesting. Bit taller. Weight and hand feel. This one does feel about the same. This one actually does feel a little lighter, which is crazy for an HSK Pro. Huh. I don't hate it right away. First impressions, don't hate it. Usually good. The sloped thumb over here, like this, how it curves inwards, that is a bit odd, but I don't know if I dislike it. We'll see. This may require some clay.